All right, guys. If you don't know me, because this is, I addressed or offered this to everyone underneath Amanda Pruitt. So I am Amber Tishio, and I am a presidential diamond with It Works. And I have built my business pretty much 99% through social media, and a huge part of that is through Instagram. A little bit of my story is I actually met my enroller, which is Amanda Pruitt, through Instagram when she was a Ruby. She was a Ruby, so she wasn't super successful just quite yet, and I didn't know her. She was a stranger, and I met her on Instagram. And so when I signed up, I knew at that point that if she found me, that means that I could find another me through Instagram, and I could find a dozen me's through Instagram, because that's our goal, right? Through this business is to be able to duplicate ourselves, duplicate what we are doing, duplicate our efforts, duplicate ourselves. And so that I realized that it was a very possible, very attainable goal of mine is to work Instagram, even though I was very new. I had 80 followers when I first started, and I really didn't use it much at all. And so I want you to kind of put a lot of emphasis on the importance of Instagram, just at least for tonight. And trust me when I say that it can boom your business, because it works. Instagram absolutely works if you work it appropriately and consistently and correctly. Okay, so how do you do all those things? How do you work it correctly? How do you work it consistently? What does that even look like? What does that mean? So that's what I'm here wanting to tell you guys, because I have no secret mojo. I have no different blood through my veins. It's all the same. And yet I got to presidential in 15 months because I worked social media and Instagram specifically consistently and deliberately. And I was intentional with everything that I posted on there. Okay. That's a huge point. Be intentional with your Instagram. If you want to make a post, but that post does not serve a purpose, then don't post it. Okay? What does that mean? What could a purpose be? I'm wanting to inspire my followers. I'm wanting to connect to my followers. I'm wanting to engage with my followers. I want to point my followers towards my business. If they don't fit into, if that post doesn't fit in in those 4 categories, then I don't post it. If it's negative or doesn't match my brand that I have created on Instagram, which I'll talk a little bit more about later, but if it goes against anything that I'm trying to do, then I'm not going to post it. So I really want you guys to take that to heart. Don't post things just to post things. That's detrimental. Be intentional with your postings, and use every word wisely, because your captions on each picture tells your story alongside your picture. So I want you to see Instagram as the whole big picture, and you have to take it as a whole. Okay, so Instagram is really important. But what do you post? All right. If you are on my team, then you will have been very, very well versed with this type of, or this theory that I have, okay, or this rule, and that is the 2-4-6 rule. What that means, okay, you can actually write this down on your notes if you don't already know it, but I have a YouTube channel. Just type in my name, and my YouTube channel will pop up, and my video, my 2-4-6 video is right there. And so this will explain it in more depth than what I'm going to be doing tonight. But basically the gist is, your goal is to complete the 2-4-6 rule on Instagram every single day. Okay, so what is the 2-4-6 rule? The 2-4-6 rule is that you are going to post 2 product posts every day. Okay, so with a show of hands, how many of you do that already? 2 product posts a day, every single day, without skipping a day. There's that consistency factor. Before I went presidential, in 15 months, I never skipped a day of completing this 2-4-6 rule. And so I know that it's possible, okay? So you're going to post 2 product posts a day. And I actually do not recommend them both being before and afters. Do not post 2 before and afters a day. You'll hear some people that are not on our team say that, but I can guarantee you they're not being as successful as we are, Amanda and I. We've come up with this together, so we know it works. So 2 product posts. You guys need to be running your auto shipment so that you have product to hold in your hand, to use, to become a product of the product. And if you have that, then you're going to be able to take a picture every single morning when you take your supplements, or every single night when you wash your face with the cleanser, or whatever the case may be. And I'm going to be dripping the products into my daily life. For instance, I'll show you an example. My kids love, with a passion, our protein shake. Loves with a passion, okay? Will sneak and find it if I leave it on a low counter, and will drink it. And she's 3.5. So my product post, one of them for the other day, was this. Let's see if you can, hold on. Okay, do you see? Nobody scrolling Instagram is going to say, oh, she's trying to sell me a product. All right, it is of my daughter with chocolate shake all over her face. Okay, and my captions just said, I came into the room and found her drinking my vegan protein shake. All right, I don't want to bash people over the head with it works. That is not my goal. My goal is to show them that there's another way. Okay, the only way that you're going to do that is by lowering their guard. And they've been bombarded by a lot of people almost every day, and a lot of pictures. And so it's our job to combat that, but still work our business. And we do that by being creative and intentional with our posts. Another post that I made is this just recently. Let's see. All right. Snapchat filter breaks things up. People like to look at them. And then I'm holding my greens. Okay. And my caption says, I had a terrible dream about Isla, my daughter, getting abducted. I can't be the only mom that fears this at all times. So I woke up and knew that it was a Jesus, greens, and confianza type of day. Now my soul is finally settling. So I'm dripping in with a picture of my greens, breaking it up with a Snapchat filter, and talking about the greens and confianza, and it's settling my soul. So I'm trying to remember those 4 things that I wanted to see if the posts were fitting into those categories. Engaging, right? I put a question. Inspiring, that we're all in this together, right? Moms fear this all the time. We're all in this together. And business, okay? So, and it fits with my brand. Everyone knows that I'm a Christian. Everyone knows that I'm a mom. So it fits with my brand. It fits with dripping the business. It fits by inspiring, and it doesn't hit them over the head. You know what I mean? It engages with them with a question and things like that. That one post does all of that, okay? So if you're posting, also, if you notice that both of these pictures are very bright, I don't post dark pictures, and you should not post dark pictures either, okay? Let's see what else. another product without me in it. Okay, so that is Greens on the Go, obviously, and elderberry syrup for my kiddos. So I'm talking about how my kids have been super sick and all the different ways that I'm helping my whole household combat these allergies, okay? Bring down the walls, guys. You are not salesmen, saleswomen. That's not who you are. That's not what you signed up to be, okay? You signed up to be you. All right, now we just have to amplify that. So I want to bring all the good things of you out, and the not so good things can stay behind the camera, not in front of the camera. All right, that doesn't mean that I love you any less. It's just Facebook and Instagram is the highlight reel of our lives. All right, and we have to treat it as such. So you post about positive, happy things that are going to engage, inspire, point people to the business, and promote your brand. Okay? All right. Does anyone have questions about that? We're going to stop every once in a while. So that's what you need to be posting. Pictures that are bright, cheery, point people towards your business, inspire, promote your brand, and engage. If your pictures do not fit into those categories, do not post them. If they have not been brightened up through the filters, do not post it. If you have not tried to be at least creative a little bit with this photo, do not post it. Can I be more clear? I don't think so, because people, I find people are lazy with their pictures because they just want to get a picture out there, and then it's just, it doesn't work like that. And I want you all to be successful. So think of yourselves as little photographers, okay? Because you are, and that's the business that you're in. Does anyone have questions? If you do have a question, you can unmute yourself. And right now we're talking about what to post. So do you guys have questions about what to post? If you do, unmute yourself.
I got one.
Okay, who are you? Meredith, hey girl.
Hey. On Facebook, do you ever do just statuses instead of pictures? Okay.
We do, because what I'm finding is that because of the Facebook algorithms, it's pretty confusing of what actually works on Facebook in terms of getting it pushed to the majority of the community. So sometimes I will do just posts. For instance, this evening I made just words, and I used even hashtags, which I don't normally do, and it is seemingly being pushed to a lot of people that don't normally see my posts. And how can I tell? I can tell by the people that are liking the posts. If you post an It Works post and on Facebook and 0 people like it, that's telling me that Facebook is blocking it from the world to see. That's not telling me that it was a bad post or your friends don't like it. That's not what that means. That means that Facebook doesn't like what you wrote. So some tricks, this isn't a Facebook training, but some quick tricks on Facebook is that when I write $99, which I really never do, but if I do, I'm gonna, this in addition to wraps, It Works, I'm gonna space out the letters. I'm not gonna write that word in there, It Works or wraps or 99. I'm not gonna write those words. I'm gonna put W space R space A space P space S space. People can still read it, but Facebook won't pick it up and block it. Something very simple like that you can do if you're finding that people are not even liking your post, because there's always going to be those people on social media that like every post in their feed regardless if they're interested or not. And so that just, like my mom, right? If I know that my mom doesn't even like my post, I know that she doesn't see it, and she has post notifications turned on for me, so I know she should see it, right? So yeah, does that make sense? I shake it up because Facebook doesn't like you to do the same thing over and over. So sometimes I do just tell or just write a little status.
Okay, I didn't know if this was just focused on Instagram or Facebook as well.
Yeah, I really want to focus on Instagram mostly, but that's a really good question for what to post on Facebook. So, no, it's good. Good job. Anyone else? This is your time. And I even upgraded to the other Zoom, so I actually have unlimited time with you all.
Can I be annoying and ask another question?
I'm sure everyone would love your question.
Do you ever, you said, sorry, you said that you only post like positive or inspiring or like those kind of posts. Do you ever post like daylight savings time this time in the spring? Like it kicks my butt. Like I could not get going. And so I figured I was not the only one. And so I made like more instead of, it wasn't like super, it wasn't negative, but it wasn't like all peppy and cheery. I just kind of posted a picture and I was like, guys, this is kicking my tail. I'm so glad I have my greens or something like that. It's like relatable, but it wasn't like positive. Do you ever do those?
You are relatable, sure. As long as you put a positive spin on it, because you did. You put a positive spin of thank the Lord that I have my greens and confianza because daylight savings times is kicking my butt. Who else is with me? You're engaging, you're pointing people to your business, and you're taking a negative situation and you're saying that you're coping, you're making it positive. So I feel like that captures all of those 4 categories. Jana, you have to unmute yourself.
There we go. Okay. Yeah. I have a quick question for the Instagram. I know the recent update to be able to do the auto posting.
Yeah.
Like, do you suggest you change that up? Like, I am a very routine-driven person with the way I do everything with my kiddos or how I use the products throughout the day. Do you change your auto up now? Because I know that's a new feature and I don't want to get redundant or predictable, even though I am routine driven. With
on like what time to post? Is that what you're asking about?
Yeah. I've always been doing that, but
I would definitely try to mix it up because, and then be aware. So if you're posting a product in the morning, the next day post a lifestyle in the morning and then see which one gets more engagement. If you post a before and after in the morning versus in the evening, which one has more engagement? So just kind of figure it out like that. And then once you get it down, then you can stick with whatever works, but you don't know what works until you know what works for you and your audience.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay, so I realized that I kind of skipped around. So that 2-4-6 rule, right? The 2 is the before and afters and the product. So I would encourage you to post 1 before and after and then 1 product post like I was showing you, okay? Then the 4 part of this rule is that you are posting 4 lifestyle posts that day. So a lifestyle post is a post of your life that is not super blatantly product or it works, okay? So for instance, all right, I took this picture, I thought it was pretty, so I posted it, and that is to engage, inspire, right? All of these other things, point people to me and my brand, all right? I want them to know that I love being a mom. Let's see. All right. Bright, fits with our brand. Okay, I edit everything. This one, I don't normally do these things, but I did for this. Where are you from? Okay, that's in order to engage, right? And also, we have an international market. I really want to know who is international so that I can focus on engaging with them. If you understand, I just want you to understand the gist of it all. 2, business, very, very focused on products every single day. 4 lifestyle posts that focus on your brand. If you guys have not created your brand, I really want you to focus on that. What is your brand? Your Instagram name should follow that brand. All right, it should be something easy for them to remember. For instance, my Instagram name is Mama to 2 Reds because my brand is that I'm this mom of 2 crazy redheaded toddlers. And how the heck did I have redheaded kids? I don't know, but that's what I got, and so that's what I'm working with. You guys all have a brand too. Okay? I focus on my kids, I focus on my law enforcement husband, military husband, living the dream, freedom, fun, friendships, okay? The company spells it out for us right then and there, but it's hard to always convey that. So 2 product posts a day, 4 lifestyle posts that point people towards you and your brand and gaining trust with them, and that equals your 6 posts per day. 6 posts per day. Okay? So that's what you need to be posting. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Sure. Where are you? I can't tell who's talking.
Oh, I'm kind of in the dark putting the kids to sleep. Ashley.
Okay.
Santiago.
Hi, Ashley.
Hi. Okay, I haven't used my Instagram in about 7 months. Would you recommend me to start a whole new Instagram, or should I just start where I left off?
Just start where you left off. Why go back and make extra work for you? When you first start, if you have an Instagram and you want to make a business Instagram, I recommend highly not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Because then what you are saying is, hey, I'm just a business person. And we do not want people to think, oh, this is a business account. This is a business person. We want them to think, oh, Ashley, I love Ashley. She loves It Works. Maybe I could love It Works too.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Integrate the business into your life. Don't become just the business and don't be just you. Integrate the 2 together, and that's how you're going to really reach your audience. Anyone else have a question?
I have a question.
Yep.
I don't think I have
Aaron?
my camera on.
Who are you?
Sheena.
Sheena. Okay. You don't have video on, so I couldn't tell.
Oh, you're breaking up.
Okay, go for it.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
The 2 product posts, should they be the same product, or like defining gel and stretch marks, or should it be stretch marks before and after, and then talking about like the picture of the stretch mark bottle or something?
You can, I personally do 2 different products because, I don't know, I don't like to be bored, so I don't like it to be too redundant. But if you wanted to do, if you, like in the morning, say that you're putting stretch mark cream on or whatever, and then in the evening put a before and after for stretch mark cream, that's brilliant. I love that. You can totally do that. So I guess it's just whatever you want to do.
Okay.
What I have tried to do before, and it really just takes diligency, is scheduling 2 products a week to focus on. So let's say, you know, tomorrow's Sunday, so the start of the new week. Let's say next week you're going to focus on hair, skin, and nails and Confianza, and you're going to focus on those 2 things every single day for the next week. And then the week after that, you're going to do ThermoFit and greens, and you're going to focus on ThermoFit and greens every single day for the whole week. And that really helps people focus. And because, you know, the statistic is people need to be exposed to something 8 to 10 times before they actually jump in and show interest. So if you're posting about Confianza once a month, it's going to take a really long time for people to put down their guard and actually ask you about it. But if you're talking about that product every day for that week, you've already almost reached the 8 mark and they're good to go.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions about what to post?
If we are still new and we don't have a lot of product yet, how would you suggest going about it without being too generic?
Okay, good question, Brittany. Okay, so you're either on, well, you're on Rappin' World team or ATAP if you're in my downline. Whatever team page you are on, I can almost guarantee that your page has a photo album specifically for product photos. Okay, and a lot of the product photos look like a mom is holding it with something in the background. Okay, so I would really encourage you to use those pictures with your own wording. I'm not saying to lie and say this is my hand, but what I am saying is whatever that picture is of, you can tell a story about how you relate to that picture. So for instance, I know that there's a picture in our team page, Brittany, where it's a picture of a hand holding a Confianza bottle, and behind it is like a messed up playroom. Okay, if you're a mom, you can relate to that picture. It doesn't have to be your playroom. You can just say, oh my gosh, today is off the chain with, my kiddo, and I'm really happy that this is coming in the mail, or I need this, or, whatever. Because I don't want you to say, I took this product today when you didn't take the product. Above all, we want you to be ethical and kind and loving and honest. But you can say, like, this is my life right now. I need this to come to me, like, today. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. You can get creative with your wording so you can use those pictures and you're still honest and genuine.
Awesome.
Okay?
Thanks.
I hope that helps.
Yeah.
Anyone else have a question about what to post? No? Okay. All right. So then, how do you find followers? This is a huge one that people often get stumped on. Okay. It is really not that hard. What I do, what I did in the beginning is still what I do. You go to, when I started, I had 80 followers. Okay. I went to those 80 followers. Okay. So the 80 people that followed me, I went to their profile and clicked on their followers list. And I followed the people that followed my friends. Here's why. If there could be any sort of connection already, then you are jumping ahead 5 million steps. Okay. Because you're already connecting. And if somebody says, do I know you? You can say, oh, I don't think so, but we have so-and-so in common, and I just love so-and-so, and so I figured I would love you too. Okay? Super simple way to go about it. Go to your followers, follow the people that are following them, or they are following. Remember, those are two different lists, so you have two options of people to go with right there. Also, going to if you go to a page, let's say that you are into skydiving. I am not into skydiving, but let's say you are. If you go to an Instagram, if you're into skydiving, your Instagram has to reflect that, if that's your brand, okay? Because otherwise nobody's going to know about that. So you're going to go to a skydiving Instagram page, like a business, skydiving business, okay? You go to a skydiving Instagram page. You click on their followers, and you could go down the list and follow all of them. However, I don't recommend that, okay? What I do recommend is you going to their most recent 10 photos, and you click on the people that have liked those 10 photos, and you follow those people. What that tells me is that is an active person, okay, because they just liked their recent photo. And that also tells me, well, if they're liking their photo, that tells me that they could potentially like my photo too. Okay? So just going through their list, if it's not a real person, that's not as effective. because they're really old accounts or whatever. You want quality followers over quantity followers. Having a large following on Instagram is actually detrimental in terms of people don't trust you as much because they're like, well, what is it? You look like a business, and so your posts have to be on point at that point. But when you first start, you just look like a regular person, and that is huge, okay? Also, when you go and add people, I don't recommend you adding 1 million people every single day. You're going to get in Instagram jail. They're going to block you because they're going to say, this person is misusing our features or whatever, okay? So just go slow, find 60 people, and then move on to another thing to build your business. Go to something else, okay? If you do that, if you look for quality people, people that are similar to you in your brand and active followers, you will grow your Instagram very quickly, okay? But you're going to be requesting to follow a lot of people, and they're not all going to request to follow you back. That's just how it is. I think I may request to follow 100 people and 10 people request to follow me back. That's not personal. Don't think, oh, they don't like me. No, they're either not active accounts, they're not on Instagram, or their Instagram is used for just solely their own personal circle of people. And that is totally fine. Totally fine. It's not personal. Keep on pushing, okay? So those are my tips for how to find people. If you go to weight loss Instagrams, you're going to find a lot of distributors, or you're going to find a lot of people that have already been hit up by distributors. Find real people that other people have forgotten about, okay? Because I want to lose weight, but I'm not a part of other weight loss communities. It's just me, and I just want to lose weight. And there's other people like that. You know what I mean? So you don't want to find the ones that everyone else has already found. You want to find the ones that have, like, I want to find the Instagrams that have 10 followers, because that tells me that there's most likely not another distributor that they have access to. And they're still going to want the greens. They're still going to want the hair, skin, and nails. Okay? So go through, and this just, it may be tedious at times, but you just have to push through and follow people, expand your audience. I did not get even a single interested person until I hit 1,000 Instagram followers. Okay? Raise your hand if you are under 1,000 Instagram followers. That's a lot of hands. That's a lot of hands. So that's the goal. And I reached that goal in 3 weeks. When I got to 1,000 followers, I signed my first distributor ever, and she was a stranger from Instagram. In 3 weeks into the company, a stranger from Instagram jumped on board. 3 weeks, because I knew it could work. I had belief in it, and I worked it consistently and diligently and intentionally. So I literally set an alarm, and every hour I was working on building, following and unfollowing. Now, I wish that I had an answer to, well, how do you unfollow people on Instagram? And I really have not figured that out just quite yet, because the app that I was using for my 3 years in the company really doesn't work that well anymore. So I'm still trying to figure that out. But I'm going to figure that out for you guys. I know that, and you can write this down, and if you have time to look into it, I know that the app, or it might not be an app, but on a computer, called Instagress, G-R-E-S-S. I hear that is working really well for a lot of people. Basically, the goal is, if they do not follow you back within 2-3 days, they're not going to follow you back. So unfollow them so that your following number is not way out of proportion to your followers number. Okay? Anyone have questions about how to find followers, quality followers? Just unmute yourself if you do. No one, no one, no one? Okay. Yes, Martha. All right, we got to unmute you. Hold on. Can you unmute yourself, or do you want me to do it? Hold on. Okay, now you're unmuted, so start over.
Okay. I thought that you used InstaFollow, and that's how you could unfollow people.
I did. My whole career I did, but for some reason it works some days and then doesn't work other days.
Okay, I was wondering why it hasn't been working the past 2 days.
Yes, yes. I don't know, because Instagram doesn't like them having access to their information and such. So every time that Instagram updates or does anything new, it like halts InstaFollow. So, but
Okay.
I hear good things about Instagram. I just have not been able to look into it, so I know how it works. But I hear good things.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Jessica, awesome. Yep.
I don't know if InstaFollow, like what you just spoke of, is the same as the Followers app, but I do know with mine, it made me upgrade to the Followers Pro because one day it wasn't working for me, and it kind of like gave me an alert saying like, this is no longer like a good version, like you need to update to a Pro, and I haven't had any issues with that one yet. So I don't know if it's the same app we're talking about, or if maybe that could be a reason why it's kind of slowing down if it's the old one, because now I have the same app. It's just called Followers Pro, and it seems to be working daily for me. So I don't know if that's worth a try for anyone.
Awesome.
In their research.
Thank you. Awesome input. Okay. So there's lots of different options. There's just no reason why you should be following 5,000 people and you have 100 followers. People will never follow you back because that tells them, oh, this person doesn't even want to really have a relationship with me. They're just following millions of people. All right. Any other questions about how to get followers?
Me.
Yes, me. I don't know. Rachel? Okay. I'm like trying to, who's smiling at me wanting to talk? Okay. Go for it.
I don't really know how to phrase this, so I'll try my best. Okay. So when you follow like 60 people a day or however many.
An hour.
An hour. Okay. And then two to 3 days, if they don't follow you back, how do you keep track of the people that don't follow you?
Okay, because on these following apps, it says users not following you back.
Okay.
And then you say unfollow them. And then you get your numbers back into proportion.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, super simple when the apps work.
Okay, cool.
Any other questions? Let me see. There's 2 pages here. So I have to. All right. Okay. So how to engage is the next thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, because you can be the best photographer. You could be the best storyteller. You are consistent with the 2-4-6 rule. You are awesome in all ways, but if you do not engage with your followers, you will not be successful. You'll just be a billboard. You won't actually be a real person. Okay? So how do you engage with them? Lots of different ways. You need to like their photos. All right? There is an app. You have to pay for it, but it's not that expensive. It's like $10 or something, and you buy likes I did not do that until I was presidential. So you don't have to do that. But if you want to spend the money and you don't have the time to like every picture in your feed, then you can get this app. It's on the computer called Likestagram. Likestagram. You can search whatever team page you're on, and I'm sure that it'll be on there. There's a post. There's a post on it each app. Likestagram, it's basically just a bot that likes every photo that comes through your feed. Okay? Meredith, that dog like creeped me out. I'm like, what is that? A raccoon eating her face or something? Okay. All right. So, sorry, that was really distracting. So sorry. All right. So Likestagram likes every photo in your feed, so you don't have to scroll, okay? If you're not willing to pay the $10, don't. If you don't have the $10, don't do it. It is not necessary. You can still be incredibly successful at this business without that. But if you work full-time and you can't do that, get the app. Outside of liking everyone's photos, you need to be commenting on all of their photos too. Okay? And don't just comment, so cute. It kills me. It kills me because people are not, that's what everyone is doing. Okay? So they're just being bombarded with so cute or I love this. Okay? Be genuine with your comments on their photos. Ask questions. That is my favorite thing to do. Oh my gosh, how old is he? Is her hair really as red as this photo is? Where does she get the curls from? What size clothing is she wearing? She looks tiny. Okay, whatever. What flavor is that birthday cake? Whatever. You guys have to be interested in them because if you're not, they will never be interested in you. Okay, you cannot expect that you're just going to post a million pictures and the world will just come knocking on your door wanting to sign up. Okay, so it takes us being their friend, genuinely getting to know them, be interested in them, and then that is what's going to bring down their barriers, bring down their walls, and then help them connect with you. All right. Putting questions in your like the caption underneath your photo, putting a question to engage, that's huge, not only on Instagram but surely on Facebook it is too. Putting in a question because the more people, and also Instagram does the same thing that Facebook does. The more people that interact on your post, the more that post will be pushed to more people because they think, well, there's a lot of interaction on this post. I bet it's a really good post. I bet it'll be entertaining for everyone else. So we're going to make sure that everyone sees this post. And that's what we want. Okay. Instagram does it too now. All right. Instagram also has the swipe to the side feature now where you can post 3, 4, 5 photos in the same status. What I've been doing, I'll show you guys. I'm really not that weird, but I like to be a little strange on Instagram. Okay. For instance, okay, so I just got out of the shower and I used a silly Snapchat filter and then hair, skin, and nails before and after. Another hair, skin, and nails before and after. So when you look at my feed, you're just going to see the Snapchat filter face and you're not going to see what's behind it at first glance. So when I'm following people, yes, there was a hair, skin, and nails before and after next to that because that week I was focusing on hair, skin, and nails. But when you look at my feed, they're not all together. It's separate. Okay? And you also, when people look at your feed, they're not going to say, oh, that's a before and after. You're not going to notice that right away. Let's see another. Yeah. So I use that feature every once in a while because I think when Instagram rolls something out, people are going to be really curious about it, at least for a little bit. So I'm going to utilize this for a while. And because people are interested in, oh, this whole new feature. Okay, so I'm going to use it while I can. Okay. Can I just give a shout out to Natasha? Natasha, it's really early where you're at, isn't it? It's like 1:30, probably later now, 2:30 in the morning because she's in the UK. So shout out to you, girlfriend. You are on it. On it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Does anyone have questions about how to engage? You can raise your hand if you don't know how to unmute. Otherwise, just unmute. Okay, Rachel?
I do. Okay, you said like every followers and comment on every follower's post. What if they post like 5 pictures in like 10 minutes? Are you going to comment on every single post?
No, I'm not going to be weird about it, but I'm going to probably 2 of their posts.
Okay.
And maybe try to link them like, oh, I saw you posted it and that other picture, like this is the same day, or that seems like such a fun event, or whatever. I'm not going to try to ask 5 questions. That would be overwhelming for that person.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Okay. Now, so I also go to my YouTube channel, and on there's going to be a video called to DM or not to DM. That is the biggest debate in all of my years with It Works. Do you direct message Instagram followers or do you not? There are some people that do, and there are some people that don't. I personally direct messaged every person that I engaged with on Instagram when I first started. I remember counting them up. Just direct messages alone, to get me to Diamond in 3 months, I sent over 300 in 3 months. Okay? But and you can watch that entire video. Let me make it clear. I am not and have not ever and will never condone spamming. So you just send a blanket statement to everyone, even non-followers. That's craziness, and people do it, and they're tacky. And all of us have class here. Those people are tacky. We are not. So I just encourage you to watch that video. Basically, what it says is, if you are liking their photos and you are engaging with them through comments, I always encourage you to bring it to DM, because you want a one-on-one real conversation with that person, okay? You especially, if they have ever liked a before and after picture or a heavy dripping post, you especially want to be engaging with them, okay? Instagram actually has this new little feature that when you have a picture, okay, so I brightened this up. It's just Cheerios and applesauce. My daughter wanted apple pie, so she said, give me this. And so I engaged with them, okay, and it fit my brand, and I brightened it up, and it's an interesting picture. Now, just to kind of reiterate that, if this was a follower of mine, I would want to engage with them. Do you see this little, where's my finger? Dink, right there. It has a little like ribbon almost. You guys see it? Super pixelated. Okay, that little ribbon, you can click it. And then what it's going to do is going to keep all of these clicked little ribbon profiles in one spot. Okay? And it's kept on your profile. If you click the ribbon on your profile, it'll bring up all these other ones that you have basically earmarked. And so the really cool thing is that if somebody continually shows interest, or if you look at them and say, wow, that would be amazing, earmark their profile, and then every single day go to their profile and make sure that you have thoroughly engaged with them. Okay. So, so if I'm engaging with them publicly through comments and liking and all of these things, I'm going to be asking them questions, and then I'm going to be creative and take it to direct messaging, because I want them to feel like I am one-on-one with them, no other distractions. And then if they have liked any of my photos that have to do with It Works, I'm going to be engaging with them again about them. If you're taking notes, you need to capitalize, underscore, circle around them. You want to be talking about them. People don't want to talk about you. They don't know you. They don't love you. They don't care. What they do care is about themselves. We live in a very egotistical world, sadly, but they want to hear about them. They want to talk to people about them. So we want to be that sounding board for them. And so you got to do that first. Talk to them about them. And then I recommend, and I say this all the time, and it still works, is I say, hey, you know, I don't know if you would be interested at all, but I did see you like a few of my It Works pictures, and I would really hate it if I didn't ask and you had been wanting to talk to me about it the whole time. Okay? You're friendly, you're asking about them, and then you just kind of throw it out there super nonchalantly, like, hey, you know, I would feel bad. They don't want to make you feel bad. Okay? If I've been talking to somebody for a long time, and you get stuck in the friend zone, has that ever happened to anyone? And you're stuck in this friend zone and you're like, how do I climb out of this friend zone? I've been direct messaging, I've been communicating with this person, engaging, and I just feel like I've missed my opportunity to bring up It Works, right? The phrase that I use when I get stuck in the friend zone is, girlfriend, you can shoot me down if you want to, but I think you'd be really amazing at this, and I just have to ask because I would hate it if you had been wanting to do this with me the whole time, but have you ever thought about doing It Works with me? Okay, I give them almost like a little out in the beginning. You can totally shoot me down. Like, it makes it not awkward. It gives them power still, because people like power, right? Gives them power. You give them the information. You just open up that door and see if they want to walk through it. If they don't want to walk through it, what I have found when people send me screenshots, when let's say they say something similar to that and then they say, no, that's not for me, and then I find people not responding back. And I'm like, that is the worst thing that we could possibly do in private messaging, because we want them to feel like we're not just talking to them to get a sale or to grow our team. Okay? So they may be just saying no, not at first, because some people need to be talked to 1,000,000 times before they jump in. Okay? And so I wouldn't spend a ton of time continuing the conversation if they've said no, but what I would do is I would mend any awkwardness that could be from somebody saying no. So they say no, no thank you, and then I would say, okay, you know, I have to ask, happy face. I just think that you'd be really awesome. So what are you cooking for dinner tonight? I know you have awesome recipes all the time. Change the subject, make it normal again. That way, whenever you do post something that intrigues them, they don't feel burnt or, you know, hurt. They feel like the bridge is still there and they can still contact you because you made it not weird for them. Okay? Does anyone have questions about direct messaging? Watch my video. It goes into depth about it. Engage, 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 talk to them about them, and then bring it up. Because posting is not asking, right? You got to post, but you also have to ask. All right. So if you do that, if you work Instagram every single day like that, you could and would be diamond in 3 months. Who wants to be diamond in 3 months? I know I did. I was talking to my sister Megan McGuire. She's a double diamond, and she built her business through Instagram too. And you know, we were talking. A lot of people have like poo-pooed a social media, building your social media, or you know, oh, you built your business through social media. To be honest, I feel like building your business through social media is so much harder than most people realize, and that's why there aren't that many people that have done it successfully. But I'm telling you guys this right now, it is so possible. But you got to be intentional. You have to be creative. You have to be consistent, and you have to be passionate and excited and get people to want to be a part of your life. If you don't do that, you don't post happy pictures or bright pictures, and you don't take the time to edit them, then nobody will be interested in what you have to say. It ties into each other. Okay? So I won't keep you any longer unless there are questions for me about anything that we talked about.
I have one quick one.
Sure.
Would you recommend like kind of using the same filter for pretty much all your pictures just to have like a clean look? I know I've kind of seen stuff about that or read about it. Do you recommend that, or maybe changing it up?
That's a really great question. I have read a lot about that. If you follow any of the Bose training, they do recommend using pretty much the same filter on all of them. If you, and I guess I do that for mine as well, but it's not a normal filter that I use. I take the photo, I go to the brightness, and I up the brightness, I up the contrast, I down the highlights, down the shadows, put a vignette. Like I do the same thing with all of my photos to a certain degree, and so it does give a kind of the same feel. And every once in a while I'll throw in a black and white. I wouldn't focus too much on that specifically of finding like the perfect filter for everything. I would just focus on what looks best for that photo, because that's really what somebody's gonna be interested in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So
Thank
if you do have the same photo or the filter on everything and people are responding well, then stick with it. But if you don't and you think that you have to find one, you don't have to find one. Okay?
Great.
There was something that I forgot to say, and then I remembered it, and then I don't remember it anymore. Yeah, I can't remember it. But any other questions? All right. I hope that was helpful. And I want to see all of you guys rock Instagram, because I know it's possible. But you guys have to do it every single day. Every single day. All right. Have a good evening, everyone.